Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Legends Season 10 action. I am joined tonight by the usual suspect, a man of many titles, Mr. 5-4 Staff, Mr. Nouns, Mr. Dota Buff, Mr. Defeater of Little Nick and Solo Queue Ranked. It is Logical Dota 2. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I did a very much in that solo queue game.
It was definitely
I was
you carrying your team and not Tomato. Definitely not
yeah.
Tomato.
No one else could have solo crested and alacrited him like I could.
Uh, we are here tonight, though, for some some last action between Nebula on the Dire team and Funny Zone on the Radiance team. Obviously, two cores of teams that have been together for many seasons. But both teams have swapped some players. Radiance actually have a stand-in tonight. They ordinarily would have Aurora. They instead have guy called Wonder standing in for them. I believe that's just some guy called Wonder. And I believe Jack off is Ned.
It's Fudge.
Wait, is there another stand-in? Uh,
Maybe.
Okay, I might have to figure that one out soon. But we also have Jax joining the team as well. So new member, actually returning member to Funny Zone. And then on Dire team, it is the Nebula ship of Theseus. They once again have removed one more player, being Journey, for being too high on Mar. They've replaced him with a former teammate of mine, Marshall. So we actually have two former Badger teammates in this game. We have Jax and Marshall, who both played on my team last season on opposite sides here, and I'm just in the caster booth again, and I'm back to that.
Now they're both offlane.
Yeah, I mean it's a good day to play offlane apparently. Actually, I'm excited to see Marshall return to offlane though. Like
Yeah, I think
Marshall,
he's better on it.
he's much better off. He was a 7K player when he played offlane in his pubs. Switched to carry, fell to divine, and now that he's back to offlane, he's back to like 6K again. So hopefully the move back ends up paying dividends for the side of Nebula on the Dire. Looking over at heroes here, some relatively standard bans. I mean, we have three meta heroes being banned out, and of course the Acid Rain Respect ban Rubik joining the three meta bans. We have 5-pick Weaver into 6-7 Enigma Grimstroke into 8 Winter Wyvern. Interesting stuff there. Some odd heroes being selected.
Yeah, your favorite Winter Wyvern has been picked.
I've been,
Uh,
I've been talking up Wyvern for a solid 5 days now, and lo and behold, the lads teams have caught on. They have picked Wyvern. Not even the CK, just Wyvern straight up.
they watched the Yarn replays. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a pretty good hero, especially against the Enigma. I think the lane's pretty good against Enigma because Splinter Blast against the Eidolon's a good way to clear those out. And then, of course, having the BKB piercing disable during the mid and late game, it's invaluable. I think this might just be the 4 support heroes in the game.
I think there's a good
Which is
chance you're right, though. Marshall does play 3 Enigma, so it could be their offlaner on the Dire side.
sure. His like level high level, right? Like 25 or something. 25 plus.
Something like that. It's very high.
Mhm. Uh, yeah, it's true. I think this hero is definitely better 4 than 3, but I don't think 3 is unplayable at all. Like we saw Saberlight play some of it at the major, and I've heard other inklings that the hero might be pretty good offlane. I think either Zai played it as well at the major. Went Octarine Core.
Obviously,
Okay.
Zai, one of the all-time elite Dota 2 gamers, so whenever he goes for a build, people are going to copy it, of course.
Not Saberlight, but yeah.
I think Saberlight's got some he got some room to grow before becoming one of the era's all-time best players, becoming one of Dota's all-time best players. You know, there's levels.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Saberlight's like, I mean, it's like there's only been one event, but in Dota, events are so infrequent that you kind of just have to go off the last event that happened. So Saberlight's like probably one of the best offlane players right now.
I would agree. I mean, he's been owning. There's been a number of very high skilled individual plays he's made out of the offlane that just kind of throw you off. It's like, wow. Remember the arena in the spear play? That was some fast button pressing right there from Saberlight. Some good awareness as well to do that.
Spirit to Arena.
It's hard to do that because usually you have to arena into spear. He speared into arena.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I feel like Lelis was the first person who did it, and then people were like super hype about the clip, and they're like, "Wow, this is crazy! If Lelis can do this on 130 ping, then surely it can't be that difficult." And then no one ever did it again for the next like 2 years until Saberlight finally.
This
That's
is
just because Lelis is the goat.
Lelis is one of the goats, and he's back. I'm actually very happy to see him back in Quincy Crew. Yeah, that's actually that's why I'm go a little bit off tangent. It's funny how NA, it's like you saw multiple teams kick players. Like, you know what? This is a
Hit the panic
mistake.
button, yeah.
Like, but it turns out for BG with Fly leaving and for Quincy Crew with MSS and Lelis leaving, everyone ended up being better off. Going back to, you know what? You guys are worse off. We're worse off. Come on back. So everything worked out in the end for all the teams.
Yeah. Quincy Crow, I think it definitely looks way scarier with their old roster plus Fada back, and then yeah, I mean EG as well. I think I heard from multiple sources that the number one issue that they felt through their team was a lack of like a real like leader, yeah, lack of leadership pretty much. And Fly is probably like one of the best in and out of game leaders to touch Dota, so they should definitely be a strong contender going into the next season as well.
Back over at the draft, though, we have some fairly popular heroes being selected. It is the 15 pick Ember into the 16 pick Tiny. We have been seeing a number of different role orientations for Tiny become popular as of recently, so I'm curious to see if it is where this Tiny ends up going here.
Mhm. I think Carry Tiny has a pretty good lane matchup against Enigma, but you have to watch out for Midnight Pulse mid and late game that it will just absolutely destroy you, the percentage based damage. Overall, though, I think it has pretty solid matchups this game. Just pretty well against Ember, because you don't really care too much about Slate Chains, and you can instantly delete him. Same with Grimstroke. I wouldn't be super surprised to see it be Carry Tiny. And I think looking at their draft, it probably will be Carry Tiny, because if it isn't, then that would mean it's Carry Weaver. And Dyer's drafted some Weaver counters already. The Grimstroke ult's really good against it. Ever Slight Chains is annoying for Weaver to deal with, so I kind of assume this is going to be Tiny Carry and Mars 2 or 3, and then Weaver Wyvern support duo.
You know, it's funny we talked about Mars without Mars being in the game. And lo and behold, it's Mars. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know we've made a number of these sort of like prophetic comments, but this is a next level play. Considering we talked about Mars like 4 minutes ago, and it's like, hello Mars, thank you for entering our Dota game. And I'm excited to see the Mars pick because it is one of Jax's best heroes. I've seen it firsthand. It's very good, and I'm excited to see what he does with this new Funny Zone team with the Mars here.
It's a pretty solid Mars game, and I think the hero is just really easy to play around. It's always a solid pick, especially in these lads level games where like it's just really easy. You got a constant spear that's like too difficult to react to most of the time in spear, and as well just the arena is a really easy tool to fight around. So happy to see the Mars as well. Wraith King pick is it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan. I think it's a little bit bad against Wyvern because you can get. I mean, you probably won't get cursed because Enigma's probably getting cursed, but you can get cursed during your BKB duration. Arctic Burn's really annoying to deal with, and it's not really the best matchup into Weaver. Wraith King's a little bit low armor in the laning phase, and so against a lane like Weaver Mars, you might be able to get abused. It's hard to kill Weaver as well later on because normally you can react to Chikuchi before the Wraith King stun hits you, unless you get blinked on like point blank range.
One very fortunate thing for the Wraith King in this game, though, means that at least Dire can put a hero in the front lines that is going to survive whatever Radiant throw at him, where you can't necessarily say Arena combo or Curse combo or Tiny combo down the Wraith King, because, well, he has 2 lives. So Dire could perhaps collapse around that with Ember Remnanting in, with a Soulbind, with a Black Hole. There's a lot of counterplay if Radiants only see a Wraith King and still want to jump somebody, where, sure, maybe you can like wrap around smoke something wild and crazy, but it's very hard for Radiant to kill a Wraith King twice this game.
I would kind of have to disagree. I mean, we'll have to like see how this draft finishes out, but Tiny and Wyvern are both heroes that are actually pretty good at like if you have a Wraith King just kind of like hitting your tier 3 tower, sieging in front of all the other heroes because he's got this either second or third life off an Aegis. Tiny is one of these heroes that's really good at abusing Wraith King because even if you have 2 or 3 lives, you can still get tossed back. And when you're that far out of position, you can burn through these 2 or 3 lives. I remember there was one clip of the at the major where it was Thunder Predator, and they also had a Bat Rider as well, but it was Tiny and Bat Rider against Wraith King, and the Wraith King was hitting a tier 3 tower with 3 lives, I'm pretty sure. I think he had Reincarnation and Aegis, and he got tossed into lasso, into refresher lasso, and ended up in the fountain, and it did not matter that he had 3 lives. The hero still died. And that's obviously a very extreme example, but you can still get tossed back as Wraith King if you're trying to siege a tower. That's something that you have to watch out for. And Wyvern as well. The Arctic Burn is like I don't even know the right words to describe this spell, but you're a position 5 and you have this like little dinky spell that you just like you throw this little tiny white projectile at the Wraith King, and somehow it just does 50% of his health. And Wraith King being a strength hero, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I actually know where I think about it. I actually recant my previous statement. I think you're right about this one. Because usually you think about Wraith King as a hero who just, has 2 lives, but Radiant have the tools, as you mentioned, and they actually have a lot of good means now of potentially playing around the Reincarnate where, hey, you kill Wraith King once, set up a Wukong's command on the corpse, and well, you might be in for a rough time if you're Wraith King.
Yeah, Monkeys definitely has a pretty good Wraith King matchup as well. Natural Scotty Buyer, which is really nice against Wraith King, and then as he said, being able to Wukong's on top of the Reincarnate is very nice. Timbersaw is Timbersaw is very good pick here though. This is I like Dyra's draft more because this Timbersaw is just like really obnoxious to deal with. I mean, Dire has to like if Dire messes up the lane really badly, then maybe the Timbersaw won't pop off. But Timbersaw is just good against like all of the Radiant heroes, and it is laning with Enigma, which is a hero that doesn't have to sap very much of his XP. He can kind of just deny creeps and then go jungle. Has good heroes to enable him as well in the Emperor of the Wraith King. This is just a really OP Timber game.
I think I figured it out. Fudge is the stand-in for Aurora, and then Tiny's just Ned.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to find out when he ends up. Okay, so it is Ned. We've gotten to the bottom of the equation here. This is Ned. He's just tagged up as Jack off with no C, and then
no.
Wonder is Fudge.
I think it's the other way around, but yeah, it's the same thing.
That's more his Steam handle that's showing up right now. Because that's Dota 2 for you. Look over at overall drafts. I think I like this Radiant side draft better, but I want to hear what you think about that one.
I like Dire just because this Timbersaw, like, it's going to get off to... Hopefully it gets off to a good start. I think it should get off to a good start, but we'll have to see how they execute the lane. And afterwards, it just has such good matchups. I mean, Monkey King against Timbersaw is, like, okay if you have a good 5 and you're able to, like, really go hard on the Timbersaw. Like, if the Timbersaw has a bad support, you have a good support, then you can sometimes shut down the Timbersaw. But I think in this kind of a lane, it won't happen. And then as the mid and late game happens, Timbersaw is really good against Monkey. It's obviously you have up to 5 spells actually that can break trees if you get the shard and the ags, and the Monkey just doesn't do enough damage to kill Timbersaw in the mid and late game. So this is a really free Timber game. Has a good supporting lineup as well for it.
All I know is I am excited for this action. It is, of course, going to be a very fun series between a lot of lads veterans, of course, Nebula on the Dire side, Funny Zone, the Radiant side, and me and Logical have split draft opinions, which usually means Logical has a better analysis behind it being right anyways, because that's how Dota 2 works, but...
What was it, game 2? What would you say? What did you say? I can't remember.
Of the last series?
Yeah. I feel like... Wait, no. Was it last series?
My entire last series or 2 series ago that we did?
Actually, never mind. Yeah. I forgot though. We like talked about it like like after we said what we thought, how we thought the drafts were gonna go, and then I can't remember who ended up winning and who we both chose, but we'll have to go back through the VOD.
We'll have to go through the VOD. I mean, I'm sure you look it up later, and if you were wrong, it's like, all right, we'll forget the conversation. Never happened again. But...
I don't look at VODs. I'll be honest, Badger.
Looking over at the the dire side jungle, we see Baboon, Mr. J. Curto, and Jax running at Bull Jax, but we see Bull Jax running from Jax. And that's going to be fun. Bull Jax plus Jax. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. I mean, I think in like I could see Radiant winning 3 lanes here because I think Tiny does really well against, or not really well. Tiny does pretty well against Ember. I could see them mess up this bottom lane. Timber's already at half health, which is a pretty good sign for Radiant. And then the top lane as well, I think is definitely Mars Weaver favored. Wraith King is at 5 armor, but that's because 3 of it is from tower protection. And so with Weaver bugs and Mars W abusing the minus armor, Wraith King can take a lot of damage.
So it sounds like one of those games where it's time for Bulldex to buy some salves. Get some salves for Wraith King. Assuming he doesn't die.
Yeah, it's like, it's definitely true because I mean you need salves, but like it's also just a skill thing. Like no matter how many salves you buy, it's not a matter of buying salves. You also just have to play the lane correctly. You can spend all of your money on salves, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna win the lane.
Well, Fume will escape the ire of the Radiant for now, but Bulljax takes a lot of damage from the Weaver and the Mars. There's no Swarm quite yet on Baboon, but damage is still quite high, actually. How does Acid Rain... Is he jungling?
Yeah, this is pretty common in the Enigma playbook.
That makes sense. You're right. Makes sense. I'm just a little surprised seeing him so injured from the camp. He's going in a man thing anyways. We didn't mention the mid lane too much. We have this Tiny Ember matchup. I'm guessing it's a farm fest.
It's pretty good for Tiny. I would say it's hard. It's annoying for Ember because you have just such a big base damage advantage. Like yeah, when he has a tree, he's got a 91 damage. Ember has 60.
Ooh,
So
weird.
you can net a lot of denies off that. However, in the mid game, mid Tiny is specifically does not enjoy getting slight chained. I think carry Tiny doesn't really care that much because normally you're just like in there and then you get slight chains. It's kind of whatever because you don't really like die during the slight chains duration, especially this game. But mid Tiny, you blink in on someone, and then especially if you don't get the kill during your first blink in, you can just get slight chained and kited. Midnight Pulse on top of that. Like slight chains plus Midnight Pulse plus a Wraith King stun, you probably don't even need to hit him. Tiny will probably just die to that.
Guess it'll be an interesting game for Camel Farmer. Also, Camel Farmer has had some big games on Ember, and if he has a big game this game, then perhaps he can shut down that middle lane Tiny's impact in the mid, making it team fights. Bottom lane, perhaps Acid Rain might go down. CP's been canceled by Down the Strike. It'll be first blood drawn by Smiley on the Monkey King.
That's big. That's pretty nice. I think this lane's going pretty well for Radiant right now. Smiley's a little bit low on CS, but he does have pretty solid levels. I think that Marshall will be fine because I think he'll hit 6 and then it won't really matter. The Monkey needs to be like level 7 or level 8 by the time that Timber hits level 6 for Timber not to push the Monkey out of lane. Which I don't really think is going to happen. However, Monkey's doing pretty decent on XP.
Looking over at the top lane, as all that happens, you see Buldath go down to Baboon plus Jax's damage. Fume tried for a counter kill on Baboon, but Weaver Chikuchi'd away. Back over to the bottom again, it's Marsh taking a lot of damage, but he chains away in time. And with that reactive armor, he will heal on back up. So all is going to be well for Radiant, it appears. They are seeing some very low heroes in all 3 lanes, but with 2 kills on the board and pretty good CS on all 3 cores, it's a good start to the game for the side of Funny Zone.
Definitely.
Marshall's actually kind of wild. He's chaining in here. There's a Monkey King and a Wyvern right nearby, but I guess he's a Timber Saw. He's just fine.
Yeah, and I mean, Monkey doesn't want to go walk over and hit him either. There's so many creeps under tower, so he's just going to go and he's going to take these. Probably farm it with the small camp. But yeah, this is a nice efficiency maneuver.
See Fume being gone on top lane. They recognize Bulljax is not in the lane. They now go on, and Swarm is up, now used. It's Wraith Fire Blast on Jax, but Jax will spear for damage, and Fume will go down Baboon's right clicks. The Gemnet attack, I believe, was on cooldown, but it did not matter. It's a third kill for Funny Zone. Over to bottom lane. Again, Marshall is forced to chain away by Smiley, who actually get his Jingu stacks, but there will be, of course, no kill there. Top lane instead, we may see Bulljax go down as Baboon hitting him, but in comes Jax in the Rendezvous, has Soul Ring and Mango, but Bulljax will walk away from Jax. Had a good read there on that Grimstroke, but the result is the same. It's, once again, very favorable exchange. It's in favor of the side of Funny Zone.
The CS is actually the CS is not really even okay for Dire. I think it's in that 15 CS right now. That is rough. Weaver's at 13.
Yeah, Weaver. Speaking of Weaver, he'll get one more kill top lane again on Bulljax. Bulljax was patient, but not patient enough, and Jackson Baboon, they just read Bulljax like a book. A fourth kill off of a very good read there from Jay Curdo, Mr. Baboon, and Jax.
Weaver is currently is currently 250 net worth below the Wraith King, but that
Again, they move to Fume. Swarm is up. Bulljax might perhaps give his light, or might even kill Jax on the way out. Good spear from Jax to dodge that Inkswell stun. In comes the Circle Fate will bring down Jax, and now it's Baboon looking for vengeance. Shikuji in. Both are low. Sentry is dropped, meaning I don't think Baboon can find a kill, but he'll still attempt it. Gemini is active. Wraithfire Blast Stick is popped by Weaver. Weaver is low. Everyone is low, but who will die? Shikuchi again up, going in for Bulljax. Bulljax low. Baboon low. Kill Baboon, but it's vengeance for Fume. Fume, I believe, gets one assist and one kill in that engagement, and at long last, Wraith King is the big winner of a fight.
yeah, that's really big for Wraith King. He gets a dominating streak with solo XP and money, so now he's cleanly level 6. Sitting third in net worth as well. You're pretty content now to just go jungle as Fume.
I guess he is not too far from the Weaver, but more of a Weaver problem than a Wraith King problem at this point.
But sorry, who's there? In what sense? The Wraith King close to the Weaver?
Net worth wise, he's still not that far from Weaver, but I guess Weaver's just that far.
Yeah. Yeah, Weaver's just really rich. I mean, you can see Weaver's only 200 below the Mars as well, so just having a very good game right now on Baboon. Gets a clean, fuck. I don't want to do the numbers. 900 gold difference that he got the 2 bounties.
We are seeing top lane a kill attempt on Jax, but Jax has Arena. He will attempt on both Bulljax and Fume. Soul Ring Spear on Grimstroke. He will die, and Fume will not find vengeance. He could not get that last hits. Instead, he'll actually end up dying to damage from the Weaver. It's 2
5
kills.
mana short. You can click
shorts.
click on Fume. He's 175 out of 180 right now. His wand was on cooldown. That's really unfortunate.
Fury ended up using the wand earlier in the fight, expecting it to not be an issue, but, well, unfortunately for Fume, it ended up being an issue. It's now 7 kills for Funny Zone, and they're absolutely popping off right now. We're even seeing Fudge zone away Acid Rain. I don't think the Enigma dies here. And he will not die here.
It feels really bad as Wyvern to be in those scenarios. It's just impossible for you to kill the Enigma because there's nothing for you to Splinter Blast off of, and then Arctic Burn does not do a whole lot of damage to units that are already low HP.
Only there are some Eidolons to bounce off of. What can you do?
I mean, if there are Eidolons to bounce off, that's an Enigma skill issue. That's a... Oh.
Seeing attempts across the map, 1 on Fume, 1 on Fudge. Fume will have Reincarnate. It might get popped this bottom, and they're diving for Wyvern. Fume, low. Wyvern, low. Fume will pop Reincarnate. Over the bottom, they're still diving for Fudge, but Fudge gets away with that Arctic Burn. Back over to the top lane. It's Fume, returning to life. He has no teammates. He's being dove by 3 heroes, and this time he will die for good. He'll be in the grave for a half minute. Reincarnate on cooldown for 3 minutes. In Funny Zone. Across the map again. Good plays everywhere you look.
Nice rotation by Smiley. He can't exist bottom anymore because Timbersaw is Chakram. He does 220 damage for 80 mana. Not bad at all. Pure damage.
One might say it's infinite damage, one might say, but...
No. That spell is infinite damage if you use infinite mana.
Is that true of any hero, though? Wouldn't any hero have infinite damage, infinite mana?
Well, no, but you have there's cooldown.
Bulljax. guess you're right. Chuckum has basically no cooldown to keep it active, but Ned will bring down Boldjack as Fudge will die to Acid Rain. Back over to Camel Farmer. He brings down Ned with a double damage rune on Ember Weaver. Joins the fight, but that's an Ember Spirits, and you were a Weaver, so he is not dying.
This Weaver's extremely farmed. Those is looking to get like a 10-minute 30 vessel. That's gonna be a problem for the Timbersaw.
Top lane, Arena, on point, Spear missed. The Fume is still in some severe danger, despite the Spear being missed. Bounce quick, and the right clicks bring down Fume again. That is his 4th death of the game, and... well, Radiant only have died 4 times total, so it's a very good sort of metric right there. You having...
He's lower net worth now than the Weaver.
Oh dear. Marshall brings down Fudge bottom lane. Actually, a big dive by Marshall under the tier 2 tower, but... it's still, they're going to do a few more kills like that if they want to be in a better spot in the game. Timbersaw and Ember are very farmed, but Wraith King is not, and 4 Radiant heroes are.
Camel Farmer's gotten a pretty had a pretty good game actually. The lane went pretty successfully, even aside from the fact that the Tiny went to try to kill another hero and then died to the Ember. The Ember was actually just out CSing the Tiny towards the end of the lane, which is probably not supposed to happen.
I'm not sure how many of those were jungle creeps or not. I really wasn't paying much attention to the middle lane, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly a bit irregular.
Oh.
We are seeing Smiley up to. Nice.
But it's tree cut by Midnight Pulse. Acid has a Midas skewed.
That's the Acid Rain play right there.
It used to be really common on Enigma. Now I'd say it's probably pretty bad on Enigma. Definitely not the standard.
We see a 6th kill for Nebula. Camel Farmer and Balljax team up to bring down the Fudge Wyvern. They see Jax as well, but Jax is a little bit harder to kill than a Winter Wyvern. Camel will poke nonetheless, but there will be no kill there. What's your thoughts on the Smiley build? He's going for a beefier on Monkey King this game.
Yeah, it's the most popular build now. I think it's pretty fine. I think Diffusal makes it hard for you to scale, and I think Battle Fury is probably just better than Maelstrom right now on Monkey.
We're at the point now where we're back to farming. Everyone's farming their key items. Obviously, Fury on. Wait, bottom lane?
He's gonna have to TP.
He's perhaps baiting. There's Baboon in the way with a vessel. Maybe they can kill Timbersaw. Or maybe not. Marshall was he's going back in. This could be suicidal. Swarm. But no vessel. Marshall will chain away. Winter Blast will miss Avalanche. Still, vessel now use Pulse, and they are canceling the chain. Can they get Marshall? Yes, they can. And that is the kill they absolutely need to take over this game. They were already winning, but now they are in a much better spot. Baboon will tank a Malefice stun, but he'll be absolutely fine. And unless Campbell can get a big kill here on Fudge. Perhaps he might. He has found the Wyvern. Remnant again in. That's 2 Remnants committed. Wyvern TPs and will not be successful. The curse was not long enough duration to TP away from the Ember. So I guess it is a 1-for-1 trade, but that is not an equal trade right there.
Yeah, definitely. That's shutting down the Timber with the... Or not shutting down the Timber, but slowing down the Timber with a kill like that is super big.
One of those weird games where Dire are up in gold right now, but... doesn't feel like things are going well, but top lane things might go well. Spear brings Fume away, the Camel Farmer was rotated in. Inkswell did not stun, the coordination was not on point. Now it's a Soulbind on Weaver and Mars, both are silenced. In comes Marshall chaining in Chakram. Bounce away, hits on 3. Fume is low, has Reincarnate up. He's still hunting for Baboon. Baboon will run away as Dax gets chased down by Marshall. Back over to Fume, he's still armlet toggling, looking for Baboon. Both of them are still in a bit of a death duel on this one. Fume will actually get a shovel salve and will heal up, forcing Baboon to back off. And I think that's the end of the fight now.
1 for 0 is pretty solid. That was Radiant who were trying to be the aggressors there, so nice counter rotation by Dire. Save the Wraith King ult, gets a kill on the Mars.
Yep, probably their last good chance to pop the Reincarnate before it's level 2. He has only 10 on Wraith King, but Wraith King will certainly begin to accelerate his farm a lot in the next few minutes.
He could definitely die to the smoke right now.
What is Radiant's vision? Radiant see nothing but the Grimstroke. Certainly not the target they want. They are going to run through the river, it appears. Perhaps towards the dire side tri-camp. They'll now see Few middle lane if they want to go on him. Arena is up for Jax. Blink Spear. Arena still not used. Now, used onto Ember and Wraith King. Jax will lose his life, but he can break it, looking for vengeance. Avalanche is there on Bolas. Bolas remains alive. That's a curse onto Ember and Wraith King. Weaver will get black holed by Acid Rain, which will mean at least 2 kills for Camel Farmer. And it's a 2-for-0 exchange, and with Radiant having lost 2 heroes and used a lot of their key cooldowns, they'll be forced to back off.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think Ned a little bit messed up casting his spells there. He only got an avalanche off of.
It was Camel Farmer, but Camel Farmer is just a little bit too tanky.
He might be dying. Oh my god.
Well, Smiley is looking to fight. He will Wukongs, looking perhaps for Marshall and Voljax. Marshall is in the middle of 4 heroes. He's tossed in the air. Speared away, actually. Chain, again, is away for Marshall. But he's blinked in by Ned. Smiley is on top of him. They bring down Timbersaw. Back over to Fudge. He's focused by the Dire team. Now it's a Soulbind on Monkey King and Mars. Dire, pursue. Baboon looks for backlands. Looking for Boljax. Boljax will turn. Boljax is low. Adds to Camel Farmer. Toss in the air. Boljax dead. Spear in. Camel down. Radiant, they turn. Acid will TB, but it will not work. Another kill for Baboon. Radiance. Funny Zone. They have turned it around in a very, very significant way.
That was unexpected.
Yep. And Timber again was really nice. The Timber was actually like competing for net worth for the monkey before that fight. It was occasionally higher net worth. Decisive win for Radiant though.
More than a 2k net worth swing, and that's not even counting that middle T1 tower. I'm drawing the box. That's how you know it's dead. And it will go down here. But Dire are going to chase. They've TP'd in on multiple heroes, being Marshall and Fume. Baboon. Yeah, he's breaking ankles. He's good to go.
These early fight wins as well were just like none of the heroes in Radiant die are really nice because all of these heroes actually really benefit from items. Weaver, I mean, the Weaver's already having a really good game. Enigma is higher net worth now, but I mean the Weaver is still 8-2-2 with the had like a 10-minute vessel. This hero can scale with items definitely, but Wyvern as well as a support hero just really appreciates having some money. I think the Ags on this hero has been and still is one of the better tools at dealing with really tanky heroes, even in the support role.
Just interesting games looking at the distribution of farm. Like both 4s are so incredibly rich, and both 5s are just so incredibly poor. You want Camel Farmer, but he's playing Ember Spirit, so he's fine.
Yeah. I'm not really sure if that kill's possible.
A kill might be possible is the kill on Jack's bottom lane on Mars. He blinks and TPs and actually gets away. So good blink TP by Jax, recognizing that Dire's not in range to cancel that one. What is Baboon up to? He's on a wild journey right now. Okay, he will time-lapse, but it's into Dire territory, all the way in their tri-camp.
I mean, this is how you're supposed to play Weaver. You're supposed to be an annoying little shit. I remember. I think I was saying this during IXDL when Weaver was at its peak of being broken, but the way you play this hero is you just try to be as annoying as possible. You just try to play the most inconvenient places on the map for the enemy team. So right now he's just going in, he's just Shikuchiing and pressing bugs on enemy support heroes, and they don't really have the best catch for him right now.
I mean, they're picking him out, but outside of, like, I don't know, black hole, they're not really killing him. And that's obviously not a good black hole if you just black hole the Weaver.
I think he will do it. I think he should do it. Yeah.
Well, they've done it. But we black hole on cooldown for 3
He's
whole
not
minutes.
dying,
He's
though.
still not dead. He's just alive. I mean, they're going to eventually kill him, I'm quite sure. I think. They will. That's a lot. Look at that. That's Timbersaw and Enigma and Black Hole. All for the Baboon Weaver. I guess they will get a Wyvern as well, but That is entirely unrelated to the Weaver dying.
Yeah, that's. I think it's kind of important for Radiant to go and take over the Dire Woods right now. Like all these camps, I think it's pretty important for Radiant to have control of. Like Dire have this ward right now, which is really good because if they can see if any of the Radiant heroes farm these camps, but it's pretty hard for Dire to approach this area if they don't have this ward. You can see that all the Dire heroes are bottom right now, killing Jax.
Yeah, there's 4 heroes on him. He valiantly tried to juke away in the trees, but eventually they just hunted him down there. He's trying to apply some blame pressure, I'm sure, but alas, he's now dead. Ooh, Ned, aggressive blink in for the Arcane Rune, but he is hasted, now hitting Camel Farmer. Camel is hunting perhaps for a slight chains, but ended up not using chains. As a result, Ned will just walk away with his haste activated, and yes, we're back to logical, we're back to farming.
It I don't think all the heroes in the game are content farming, but I do think that these carries definitely both are trying to hit their specific timings.
We have not looked at Smiley in a very, very long time, but he's now 2k net worth ahead of any other hero in the game. B-Fury and BKB in hand, going for the Aghanim Scepter afterwards. Thought it might be a more stats-heavy item, but he's opting for the Ags instead, which could pay off handsomely in this game.
Yeah, ever since they changed the Ag, said that your clones get Jingu Mastery, the item has seen a lot more pickups, I think, especially in conjunction with the 15 talent. I think people are learning that you just double the amount of extra damage that you get on Jingu, so it's plus 260. Your ult does a lot of damage, and the Ags monkeys do a lot of damage. Baboon goes down. That's actually kind of a big deal.
That's a kill I'm sure they're very, very happy with. I mean, that was, once again, Weaver, as you mentioned, being an annoying little ship between the tier 2 and tier 3 towers. I don't think they actually saw the Weaver. They all they saw was the Shikuchi damage debuff. It's like, you know what? I'll use spells. Hopefully it dies, and he just dies there.
I think it could be good for the Weaver to buy an Orchid this game. I just looking at what items Dire's going for right now, I think it'd be a great way of messing with the Grimstroke. The Ember as well does not have a BKB in sight, and Radiant knows that because they can see the Sage right now and normally don't want to go Maelstrom Kaya Sage into BKB.
Well, in the river, we see Ned again going for a rune, but this time he might get punched. We do see a curse onto being Acid Ring and Camel Farmer. Both Tiny and Ember are level. Tiny will die first. Perhaps not, actually. The turn! The Avalanche Toss brings down Camel. Now it's the Wraithfire Blast on Weaver. Weaver cannot use any spells. Smiley will pounce on in, looking to man-fight with his carrier opposite him. Spear is on Bulljax. The Bulljax TP's away. No, it's cancelled by Boundless Strike. In comes Ned. Once again, meter shooting for Fume. Fume has 2 lives, but will lose 1. Now we return to Fume in a Blue Cloud's command and an arena. There will be no escape for Fume. Carry down. And during all that, Baboon distracted the remaining parts of Nebula, meaning that Funny Zone are good to chase. They find Acid Raid. Bounce Rate again is in. It's a triple kill for Smiley on Monkey King. And there we go. It's a 4 for, I believe, 1 exchange, with Baboon buying back in the fight. That is one fantastic engagement win for the side of the Funny Zone.
Yeah, this game is looking harder and harder for Dire right now. I think with their lineup, they do kind of have to win some of these early fights. I mean, they're definitely stronger in the early fights. Timbersaw does unreasonable amounts of damage. Ember as well as super high damage hero. Their biggest issue is I think they haven't really been able to... Yeah, their biggest issue is they haven't been able to enable this Enigma. We haven't really seen any black holes that weren't on a solo Weaver, I think. And even the Midnight Pulse hasn't had too much of an effect, which I think is probably the other utility of this hero in this game.
Well, the fighting continues. Both teams are not content to sit down. They will lose Ned immediately on the Radiant side, and Baboon has been hit by the Malphus. We are seeing a 2-man curse on Timbersaw and Ember. Spear will hit on Camel Farmer. Camel Farmer gets annihilated there. The trade we've marched on the black hole. They're in on 2, but canceled by the death on the Enigma. Fume will fall again. Reincarnate was still on cooldown from the last fight, and they move to Bulljax, the lone survivor. It's a 4v1. He'll dodge the spear, but he will not dodge his death. It's a full 5-man wipe in favor of the Funny Zone. They will claim the top tier 2 tower.
It's another decisive fight win for Radiant. And if they just keep winning fights, it doesn't really matter what else is happening in the game. If you just execute better in the team fights, then you're gonna win. This is at least a tier 3, and I'm pretty certain that they can just go get the racks as well. I mean, they have no black hole, they have no, like, any ults pretty much on Dire. They're gonna have to reincarnate. They don't really have many big ults, but they're missing their one big ult black hole.
They're missing their medium-sized ult and soulbind as well, but chains on Smiley, he'll BKB and turn. Marshall runs forward looking for backlines, zoning away the Weaver and the Mars. Battle Strike hits on 2, but Dire will pursue on in. Shikuchi in, time lapse out, but Bulljack's down with the Weaver damage. Arena now is there, allowing Radiant to retreat, but Camp Farmer Remnant in. Fudge will die to Marshall's damage, but the trade will be for Marshall's life. Now Fume runs in with Reincarnate, slowing Smiley and Jax. Smiley is just slowly speared again by Jax. A fantastic spear, again bringing down Fume. As that happens, Camp Farmer will dodge a tree toss, but he will not dodge his death. A triple kill for Jax on Mars. And Ned, with DD in hand, might hunt for Enigma. Maybe not. Instead, he will hunt for the middle barracks. Radiant's got the top ranks in that fight. They have their eyes on the middle T3 and the middle barracks. And, well, Funny Zone might just win this game. It's not quite over yet, but it's looking very fantastic right now.
This is, yeah, this game's looking a little bit over. I think Dire just kind of botched some of their fights. This is something that happens occasionally for teams that, like, I mean, these players have played together for a long time. This, like, main core. Everyone except Marshall, actually. But, when you're not, like, if you're not, like, super comfortable with the other members of your team, then occasionally these early fights can just be botched. Kind of think that's what's happening here.
Maybe they're, I'm not really as familiar with the Nebula side team comps, but perhaps Journey was one of the more vocal players. I've asked them this question, but I forgot the answer. I probably should know this, but fucking you do.
Sorry?
In terms of, like, who's the more vocal player in the team fights for Nebula, we are seeing a fight again top lane. Marshall will BKB out of the arena, turning on Smiley. Chains is in, but Smiley again is still alive. Now BKBing, turning on Marshall. As all of that happens, Fudge curse on, I believe, 3 heroes, bringing down Bulljax. Back over to Marshall. He's again going in for Smiley. Smiley, keep you away. I missed the fun part of that fight, didn't I? The part that Fudge just cursed them.
I was also watching the monkey and the timber saw. That was a pretty good decision by Smiley, I think. If I was playing monkey, I probably would have just stunned the timber when he was chaining away to try to, like, on the 3 stacks, so that I could get the final stack of Jingu and I could hit him afterwards during the BKB duration. But I like his decision more, where he just saves his stun and he just leaves, because there's a very solid chance that fight does not go well, even if you stun the timber during the chain. And just waiting for your Scotty is such a safer and just overall better decision to make, I think.
And that means he'll have everything he wants at this point. He'll have BKB, he'll have the Ags for damage, he'll have the Scotty for stats and kiting. It's going to be just so hard to deal with this very powerful MK. And Radiant don't even have their tier 3 neutrals yet, so they're going to get even stronger beyond that. This is scary.
Yeah. First Roshan, minute 30.
You know, I could tell with the tone in your voice on that one, but we are seeing first Roche of the series go down. Minute 28, actually, not minute 30 logical, but it will,
right.
unsurprisingly, go into the hands of Smiley's Monkey King.
If the timer was bugged, you wouldn't notice. You would believe that it's minute 30 if the timer was saying it was minute 30.
I would, but I'm believing the evidence of my eyes, not my ears. I'm seeing 28 on the clock, so... We, of course, will see Radiance perhaps looking towards the bottom barracks as their next objective. They already have the middle and top sets of them. But what stands in the way is, of course, that bottom tier 2 tower, so... I'm sure we'll see Radiance slowly move towards this bottom lane sort of area, pushing it out in this direction towards eventually Tri-Camp control and this tier 2 tower. But for now, we're chilling. We're seeing, actually, perhaps Ned being gone on. He has BKB, but will blink away instead. So good blink reaction by Ned. He actually did not have vision of the dire side heroes, but it's a good reaction time there on Ned.
Yeah. Beast then mid player reaction time.
If we're looking at our good friend Jay Curto on the Weaver again, he's once again being annoying.
Yeah. It's got the annoying item as well.
He does have the Wraith back.
He has the most kills in the game, so he's definitely OD.
Jesus. That is not okay. That's never... When the enemy 4 is owning you that hard, it's never a great sign. And you know, there are a number of Jay Curto believers. I mean, Guav rated him as the best 4 support in Lads once, and perhaps this is why. You see some big games from Jay Curto sometimes. Blink in by... Fume is out of a blink. He'll just walk in for Smiley. Smiley's a BKB. Now turning on Fume. Fume will get hit by down the strike. He's half HP, but still has Reincarnate and BKB. They now turn to Smiley, who has 2 lives, but no longer any BKB. Ned will toss Smiley away, but Marshall has engaged in for him. But Marshall may have overextended. He's half HP and speared back by Jax. Jax will BKB, fighting. The bounce strike in on only 1, but they will kill Marshall with it. Now Sabrina on Fume and Kill Farmer. Soulbind in, but Radiant are handily winning this fight right now. Fume will reincarnate. He will BKB, but Ned... Smiley, they are both so strong that Baboon is in on the entirety of the backlines again, bringing down Balljax. Balljax will buy back, as will Baboon. Baboon tops it back into the fight. Acid Rain has Black Hole, but still has not used it, and he's dead once again to the damage from Fudge. Camel again is doing his best with that Sleight of Fist, but Radiant are just too strong again. Toss in, Balljax out, that is a dieback. Chains are there on 2. Wraithfire Blast in, Baboon will die back. They move to Smiley, but Smiley still has 2 lives. He is completely unfazed. He kills the range racks, then blinks in again for Camel Farmer. Ember buys that into the fight, but Smiley is still just way too strong. Fume has no reincarnate, he has no life, but he does have a buyback. Problem is, his team does not have barracks. That is Megas for the Radiant. Smiley will man fight under tier 4 towers. In blinks Ned once again for Camel Farmer as Fume runs at Smiley. Black Hole's in. It's only a moment canceled by the Winter's Curse from Fudge. Ned will die to Marshall, but in comes the big bad Smiley. Smiley still has 2 lives. His BKB has come off cooldown, but he will be fighting in a 2v4. Fume is low. Smiley returns, but Fume has reincarnate. Reincarnate will be popped. Armlet, the toggles are on point. Not enough. Smiley will now blue Kongs in the middle of 4 different heroes. Marshall, BKBs, Bounce Strike, dodged by BKB from Fume. Fume runs away. Smiley zones the Dire for now, and he's now going to leave. Him and Fudge will smoke away. So Radiance, they lose a couple of kills on the way out, but they have gotten their main objective. It is Mega Creeps online, and for Dire, ooh, it's not looking too good anymore. It was already not looking good, but it's looking even worse now.
I mean, the game's not over, but the game's a little bit over. The Dire does not really have the best tools to deal with Mega Creeps. Ember is actually kind of bad against Mega Creeps. Like, look at this bottom lane. That was pathetic. That Sleight of Fist, it did like half of the creep health.
It's a Maelstrom too, but it's just not enough.
I mean, yeah, without the Maelstrom, it would be just absolutely pitiful. They do have the Wraith King Cleave talent, which is like okay, but it's like 2/5 of a Battle Fury. Like it's nothing.
Speaking of a man with Battle Fury, Smiley's Battle Strike on Fume. Spear in. Fume will lose Reincarnate again, and well, can he escape? He will attempt the Wraithfire Blast. Remember, the BKB still on cooldown, actually. He's going to die again, and now we see a curse on Camel Farmer as Baboon again zones away the Dire side backline. Baboon gives his life, but it is for the cause. Spear on Balljax. Balljax goes down. They move to Marshall, who will BKB and chain away. But Dire are down 2 defenders. Neither have buyback. Radiant play 4v3, and Smiley still has BKB. Him and Ned walk forward. Ned can blink, avalanche, and toss, but has not done it yet. He's still fishing, perhaps, for the right opportunity. We see chains on 2 on Ned and Fudge. But, once again, Smiley focuses tier 4 towers. The western one is dead, the eastern one is half HP. In comes Ned. Blink, avalanche, toss, and Acid Rain. Acid Rain is dead, and there will be no Enigma. That is a dieback. Back to the buildings. They are dead. It is only a throne and a moonwell. Not much structures remaining. Smiley is man fighting. He actually BKBs under the winter, so that coordination there from Fudge, but it seems not to matter. Wukong's has been activated. The throne is being hit by Smiley. Throne, half HP. Ned blinks in. Boljax is dead. And we are now headed to game number 2.
Radiant just like really outplayed them in the fights. I don't think their draft was particularly. You're right, by the way, on the draft, but I don't think their draft was particularly that much better. I mean, Marshall still had a pretty good game on Timber, 9 kills, 5 deaths, but they literally just outplayed them, I think, in all the fights. I don't think they've lost a single fight.
Match sign out delayed. Due to high load, match results are still pending. Items and rewards might not be available immediately. Thank you, Valve. Oh, I see a green button. We're good. Green button officially online.
Okay, I'll sit in slot and then I have to go pick something else. I need AFK for a second.
Let me press the... Okay, you can now join the slot. I will see you soon. I will see you soon. For now, though, we have no logical, but what we do have is our good friend, the net worth graph. Check out this graph. Look at that green line. That is Valve's proprietary AI evaluating the win chances. You can see the minor swings back and forth on the earlier, more intermediate engagements, but then I don't remember what fight that was right here at, what is that, minute 26 or so, but Valve just gave up immediately. Completely gave up on the chance of Nebula to win. I believe that is when the 2 racks went down, which would explain it. That is a very, very drastic line, if I've ever seen one. I was impressed though by Baboon. I mean, me and Logical both mentioned we thought Weaver played very well. He did 20,000 damage, which I suppose isn't that much damage. But what a damage stat won't show you is just the amount of attention grabbed. Because that entire game, Dire just had this annoying bug hero in the back of their mind, like, man, what's he doing now? How is he ruining our game experience? And sure, they killed him a few times, but at what cost? Depending on the cost is the game 1 loss. As Funny Zone have gotten their win. I am going to, of course, do my lobby settings stuff. Let's see here. That sounds correct. That sounds correct, yeah.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back. We are about to go on into game number 2. We are waiting for oh, we've done it. We've tagged the teams properly. Great success. Good job, guys. Round of applause. I am pressing a blue button after I double check the settings. Yeah, they're correct. I know they're correct, but I always double check, you know.
That's good.
I've actually, I believe, only made a mistake in Pro Series once, but it was at the wrong time. I mentioned the story, right?
Is it Ike's mic?
No. Oh no, that was a different story. That was Ricky yelling at me. I mean,
Okay.
for terms of like making the lobby settings wrong.
No.
It was grand finals of Pro Series 9. It was a best of 5. Thunder, I think they were Thunder Predator at the time. They were up 2-1 up against, at the time, 4 Zoomers. And we were in the lobby getting settings ready for game 4. I marked the win wrong. So instead of saying Thunder 2-1 Zoomers, it was Zoomers 2-1 Thunder. And I got roasted by the players for that one. I got roasted by the players and by Neff. They both roasted me for that one. That was the first and hopefully last mistake I'll ever make doing that. I haven't done it since, so what can you do? I'm going to do what you just did. I'll be back in about 2 minutes, and I will see you soon.
Yeah. I think they're gonna take Weaver right now, right? Yeah. Makes sense. I was kind of surprised they didn't first phase ban the Weaver because he was like really successful with it, and then generally that seems like the kind of hero that you'd take out in the first phase, mix things up game two. But Acid Rain does play the hero a lot, so it makes sense that they would leave it in and then take it for themselves.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Skywrath Mage.
This is actually the same 4 heroes that got banned, but they traded
10 seconds remaining.
Pugna and DK. Last game, Funny Zone banned Pugna Rurik,
Remaining.
and the Bulljacks team banned Visage DK. But this time they banned Visage Pugna. Funny Zone bans Rubik DK. Interesting. They take Skyrat, pretty good hero.
Radiant team pick.
Skyrat Mars, pretty good combo. Yeah. Definitely a very good way of dealing with the Weaver, the Skyrath Silence. I hope that he maxes Silence. I think this is like by far the best build on Skyrath Mage, but I don't see, especially for like lower more players, I don't see them do it all that often.
I'm back, and I got 2 pieces of news. Have you checked the Reddit front page for Dota 2 in the last like 2 hours?
No.
You know, there's a certain post from a Dota Buff beauty manager that's on the front page right now. So
I see.
your Slacks tweet is getting some numbers right now.
Oh, this is literally my friend made this post. I didn't realize he did this. This is funny.
It's a good
It
post.
is front page.
It is
It's
a good post. I liked it on Twitter. It's a good post.
Thank you.
And then other news, I grabbed some gummy bears, so I'm ready for game 2.
That's good.
These things are showy, but you know what? Wait, is that an Abaddon?
It is, yeah. Skyrat
Let's
Mars.
go! Abaddon! See, you know,
It's good. Good Abaddon game.
I think I've impressed myself for the love of Abaddon on multiple players in this Radiant team. I teamed up Marshall, and I'm sure Marshall's like, wait a minute. If Badger can play Abaddon, there's no way Bulljax can't play Abaddon, right? You should go play some Abaddon Bulljax. And lo and behold, Abaddon 8's. It's a good pick this game. I think it's fantastic in Skyrath Mage.
Yeah, it's definitely really good in this game. I was just talking about how I think the best Skyrath build is Max Silence, like this 114 build. And I think that this build is decent against Abaddon because you can kind of just like silence, and then he's sad. You can just ignore him. You can just silence, and you don't have to worry too much. But it's definitely a counter. In the fact that if you don't silence the Abaddon, he's just gonna purge off everything. Like, he's gonna purge the Mars, he's gonna purge the silence. They're just gonna walk away out of the ult. But even if you silence the Abaddon, that's a lot of damage that you're missing. Just because the extra magic amp on the ancient seal gets wasted on the fact that you're silencing the Abba, so you can't shield off the spear.
I'm curious to see how Bulljax builds this game, because there's 2 lines of thought in the Skyrath Mage. There's 1, purge the silence, or 2, just don't get silenced. And obviously, if he's trying to purge the silence, maybe it's a Lotus Orb type build in Abaddon, which is obviously good but very expensive, versus, hey, it's maybe instead go for like a Blink Dagger and just don't show your face until Mars goes in type thing. I'll be interested to see what he does here on the Abaddon.
Yeah, these second phase bands. TA, CK, Faceless Void. Yeah, okay. I can get behind these.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, what you were saying, sorry?
I'm excited for seeing some of these core picks, because I mean, there's some players in this lobby that play have a very very wide hero pool. So we saw it last game. some new heroes getting picked, and we might see some more new heroes here this game too.
I mean, this is already 2 unique heroes. I was gonna say 3. This is 2 unique heroes.
I meant more like in terms like the entire like season of the lads, more than just this series.
I see.
Huh.
Disruptor.
I believe
There was
this-
one of those.
Yeah, we had one of those actually. Usually we wouldn't have one of those, but we did for once. We actually had this hero. This hero won, right?
No, it lost. It was the 4-play series.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
5 seconds remaining.
I thought he played well, but what can you do?
On the Disruptor.
Team pick.
Or 4-play.
Both, actually. But
I can't remember what was going. Yeah, I can't remember that much. That was against the TA, right? Yeah, I don't remember that much from the Disruptor. I think it was Epic, but I don't remember the Disruptor doing that much.
he had one super bad glimpse, but other than that, I thought he played perfectly fine. But what can you do?
5 seconds
Uh,
remaining.
You have a Venge pick, which once again, a
Okay.
hero you normally don't see, but we have seen in the last 2 days.
I like this hero a lot. I think I talked about it as well in the same series, but that was game 1, if I remember correctly.
You did,
think
but it's always a good refresher for the viewers who are not there to break down this blue hero, Vengeful Spirit. You know?
Yes. I think this hero is really underrated as a core hero, like as offlane or mid. But I think this hero is pretty bad as a support. And by the looks of it, it does look like it's going to be offlane. I think it's going to be 4 Weaver, 3 Venge, 5 Abba, and the Kunkka will. I've never seen Fume play Kunkka, to be honest, so I'm just going to assume it's Camel Farmer Kunkka.
Yeah, Camel plays a lot of Kunkka, but do you notice that Radiant only have blue heroes?
Seconds remaining.
Yeah.
What if that's
That
their,
is-
their draft plan? Is just pick blue heroes?
I mean, it's. Their draft looks fine so far.
You know, there's a lot of goons in this team, this Radiant team. Acid Rain's a bit of a goon. Marshall, big goon. Fume, definitely a goon. I haven't had much interaction with Camel Farmer, but I think he's a goon too. There's a good chance I might say, hey, Bulljax, pick blue heroes.
And they got some good blue. They actually didn't really get the best blue heroes, I think, but they got some solid heroes. Their heroes work well in the draft. They got a bunch of saves against the Disruptor ulti. TV is pretty good. Yeah. High armor against the Weaver bugs is always nice. You get to you can annoy the Abaddon by pressing Reflection on him.
10 seconds remaining.
Getting silenced by your own illusion on Abaddon is
5
It's
seconds
bad.
remaining.
And you don't normally want to cast a spell. Like, you don't want to cast your ult or you don't want to shield yourself to stop it. But, I mean, sometimes you have to, right? Because then you're not casting your spells anyways if you're silenced.
it's one of those things too. You're not even necessarily purging off the silence. You're purging off the stacks of silence. So it's like illusion gets 3 stacks, shield yourself. Illusion gets 3 stacks. Oh, we have to ulti for that.
No,
not- that's
Badger,
not-
that's not how that works. That spell's Virgil.
Dire team
You can't purge it if you're silenced.
Yeah.
You can purge the silence off, obviously, but you can't purge off the Abaddon silence if you're silenced by Abaddon silence.
You can purge the Abaddon off of you.
10 seconds.
Reflection's dispellable.
It is?
Yeah.
Really?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
How has it been reflectable for? How long did he purge reflection for?
A long time. Hold on. Let me see. It must be like 3 years at this point. I'll take a peek.
I would never notice that.
Team ban.
That's a great question.
I watch
That's
a lot of Dota games. I watch a lot of Terrorblade games. Add that. How do I not know this? How do I not know these things? I'm not a bad Dota player. I just apparently don't know interactions anymore at any point.
714. Reflection illusions now disappear when the corresponding slow debuff on their targets gets dispelled.
How many years is that? Is that what, 4 years now?
5 seconds.
714 is 2018. For 2018.
That's literally 4 years in a month and a half. Oh god. Okay, in hindsight, me knowing that probably would have won me one more game in lads. My bad.
Really?
My bad,
It would have
Jax.
won.
My bad,
It
Marshall.
would have won you a game. Do you remember a game where you were getting silenced?
Yes. I remember he was getting silenced by Derek.
I see.
He goes against KU as well, so that's would have been a nice game to win.
Yeah.
What can you do?
They got a lot of silences on Dire. They got the unpurgeable reflection on Abaddon. They got Skyrath Mage sounds. They got Disruptor ulti.
You know, it's Disrupt Reality probably the biggest detriment of this game, given its perpetual AoE silence for what, like 6 seconds or something. I think more with talents.
I think it's 5 and then 7 with the 20, with the 15 talent.
We'll call it 6, why not? But we're looking at the last picks of the draft at this point. Is the penultimate pick of the draft, the final pick for the Radiant side. They have 38 seconds of reserve time, so not too much time to think. Question of the day: will it be a blue hero?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm guessing it will be Ursa.
That is not a blue hero.
It's
Got
not a
some
blue hero.
cosmetics, I think, but he's not a blue hero.
Jug's banned, otherwise I'd say Jug's probably pretty good. Sven is pretty blue. They could pick Sven.
He is blue for the majority of the game. You are right. I mean, there aren't that many blue carries. I mean, there's Sven and there's Terrorblade, right?
Yeah. Kunkka, Magnus, Razor, Arc Warden.
Those aren't like
No.
carries, I guess. But wait,
Arc Warden's not a carry?
isn't he like mid still? You play Arc
That's
Warden
actually,
carry
that's
now.
pretty base. That's a base take. You're right. But I'd say
10
officially this is a carry hero.
Does Furion count as blue? I mean, he's got blue. He did a blue staff, blue shoulder pads, a blue beard. Is that blue enough to be a blue hero?
No, it's green. It's
Yeah,
a
you're
green
right.
hero.
I'm coping. I'm
It's a
coping.
green.
I'm all in on the
It's
blue.
based on tree. He has nature in the name.
There's some blue stuff. Okay, there's not much blue stuff in nature. There are some blue stuff in like what. There's not much blue stuff though. There's a couple fish, I think, but there's not.
Is water blue? Does that count? Like the ocean is blue, right? I
Water-
don't think like water's clear, right? Like
Water's clear in isolation, but in practice, it's blue.
I see.
Why is it blue? What is
There's
making it blue?
probably a real reason.
I'm sure there is, but what's making it blue? There's something blue in the ocean. Everything in there is not blue. It's making it blue. We'll have to figure that one out later. We have the last pick of the draft. It is a Void Spirit for Ned. If memory serves, he is very good on the heroes. So we have a lot of very good heroes for player combinations here. I mean, Baboon Skyrath, very good. Jax Mars, we saw it last game, very good. So potentially Dire might just be in their comfort zone right now.
I like their draft. It's awfully Nature's Prophet, Carry Weaver.
Interesting.
5. 4 Revenge. Okay, I like Dire's draft more now. I mean, Azardin will probably get money, but still, I think this hero's a lot better offline.
Do I want to be contrarian or do I want to agree with my own opinions? You know, yeah, I think Dire's better as well. So I guess we're both on the same page here. We both
I
prefer
think
Dire
I've
side
been
draft.
I think I've been like 1 for 5 or something, or like 1 or 0 for 5 so far. So might do you some good to just say otherwise.
I'm not betraying my own predictions just to be a contrarian. Like I could do it, but I'm not going to. It's not my style. I'm sticking with my logical Dota 2 for Dire prediction. And if we're both wrong, we're both wrong. What can you do? Carry Weaver though. I mean, we saw Ice City play it the other day. I'm not sure if you were there for that cast or not. I'm not even sure if I was there for that cast.
I don't think so. I didn't even realize Ice City still played Dota.
He does, and he's on a lads team with Jay and buying onions and Pistia, and he played Weaver the other night.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember we were used to be one of his heroes with like Spectre and Wraith King.
That is actually dead on for the ICD Hero Bowl.
CK? Oh my god, CK's so good now. He played
No,
it when the hero was bad.
He can't
He's
play
probably
anymore
beasting.
though. Because it's always banned. He doesn't get to play CK.
Okay, I see. Yeah, he must be like a million MMR. Because CK's a good hero finally.
I can check this actually. Is he on Dota right now? He is
Let me
not.
message him. My DM history is so good with Ice Yeti. I'll hit him up.
Okay. Oh yeah, there he is. He is. It's loading. Okay, it will not load for me, never mind. If you are just joining us, welcome for game number 2 of Nebula taking on Funny Zone. Funny Zone won game 1 in fairly good fashion. It was tenuous going into like the minute 25 team fight sort of area, but they won the key team fights when it counted back to back, and they ended up taking away the game.
30 seconds.
For Nebula, of course, they want to bounce back and win game number 2. Turn this 1-0 into a 1-1 in this best of 2 action. For now, though, in the jungle, we are seeing Acid Rain get slowed by Concussive Shot, but instead it's Radiance, perhaps collapsing on Mars and Skyrath. Takuchi in by Fume. Balljax has arrived, but he has no crowd control because he is an Abaddon and has not skilled Silence quite yet. As a result, Baboon and Jax get zoned away from the rune, or perhaps not. Jax goes back in again. He wants the rune. Rebuke away. The rune is grabbed, but it is grabbed by Balljax. Now it's, again, shield on Fume, going in for damage. Jax is half HP, but still taking some damage. I don't think he dies here.
Getting out-clicked by the 5-player is never a good look.
It is a very base 5 hero, though. Sometimes you'll get outclicked by Abaddon.
Yeah, but I mean, getting out-clicked by the 5-player is still never a good look.
If the 5 is playing Vipers, it's still a bad look.
I mean, it's a bad look because you're getting outplayed by the 5-player. You know? Like, not necessarily the role known for its mechanical skill and clicking ability.
I saw some middle lane praise from earlier. Now 5 players slander.
Yeah.
I mean, you play 5 and 2.
I mean, it's not
so-
slander. Like, the youngest 5-player in NADPC is 22 years old. This is Sammy Boy. Did you know that?
Wait, Sammy's 22?
Yeah.
He's only 22?
Yeah.
He's been around forever. What do you mean he's only 22?
Yeah. I mean, he was really young, I think, when he was
Noble
first
Wings?
on NA Mafia. Yeah, Noble Wings.
22? Okay, that's the one thing that surprised me. I knew 5 players were generally older, but Sammy being 22 is genuinely shocked me. 22, really? Over at the lanes, though, we have this Kunkka Void Spirit matchup in the middle lane. Who would you expect to win off the Heroes Alone matchup-wise?
This is generally a pretty good matchup for the Kunkka. So it's pretty hard for Void Spirit to do damage to Kunkka because the hero is just really tanky, and Void Spirit doesn't do that much damage early on. So yeah, I'd say Kunkka does generally pretty well. Can also farm the small camp a lot better than the Void Spirit can. Void Spirit, you kind of need to commit like at least 2 spells generally to actually clear out a small camp, which can be fine if you stack the small camp a couple of times, but casting 2 spells to kill a singular small camp doesn't feel very good.
On the flip side, Kunkka only needs 1 spell, and the spell costs no mana because it's Tidebringer, so it's certainly a lot easier for said Kunkka. Looking over at these side lanes, we have seen a bit of brawling in the top lane. Also a bit of brawling in the bottom lane, but nobody's too injured. Everyone is relatively healthy for now, but let's do the bottom lane, why not? Well, what should be expecting this bottom lane of Weaver, Abaddon versus Mars Skyrath, man? Abaddon might just die right now. He will shield, but he's still taking a ton of damage. He'll pop the stick. Animus Coil on Jax. Balljax low. Jax is low. Baboon grabs first blood, but it will be Vengeance going to Fume, so 1-for-1 trade. Fume, once again, probably the big winner of that team fight.
Yeah, definitely. Having these early levels on Weaver feels really nice. And Skyrim Mage can definitely be food for Weaver if you're able to get some early items. Like, you do have to watch out for the silence when you don't have any way of dealing with it, but if the silence is on cooldown, or if you have like a BKB, or if he just doesn't have enough heroes next to him to kill you on the silence duration, then Skyrath will just feed to Weaver.
Speaking of possibly feeding top lane, Marshall taking a lot of damage. Meta was popped by Smiley with the last hit from Smiley. He brings down Marshall's Furion, and despite Acid being nearby the entire time, connecting with this meta was just a lot of damage.
Yeah. I mean, this top lane is... TP's pretty good against it. Like, the whole point of Radiant's top lane is that they have the Wave of Terror minus armor, and they got the Nature's Prophet treants. We're about to see it in action here.
Yeah, I mean, Smiley is trying to run, but he's being blocked by the treants of Marshall. As that happens bottom lane, we're seeing some very big trades there, but Nobody's dying. Alright, no one's dying. Somebody's going to die very soon, but not quite yet, apparently.
I guess it's my guess is that it's going to be the Skyrath Mage.
Probably a good prediction. I mean, he has low HP, and outside of tower armor, he has 0 armor, so... And now he's back to 0 armor again. That is dangerous territory to be in if you're Baboon.
I mean, it's kind of hard for a Radiant to actually kill him, though. They don't have any kind of disable. They got Weaver bugs.
Yeah, it's, no disable. Literally no disable. And Skyrath is a very fast hero, but so is Weaver. Weaver dives the tower. Spear is not up for Jax quite yet. He can mango or stick if he wants to. But the spear was missed by Jax. A bit off the mark. In comes Fume again. It was shielded by Bulljax. The ward is placed by Bulljax for the vision. But Fume will now re-engage Shikuchi. But no pursuing of the Skyrath Mage quite yet. Oh. Nah, he's fine.
That's a crazy observer ward to place with the Weaver on your team at this stage of the game. I think it's extremely natural for Dire to put a sentry to try to scout out the Weaver during Sakuchi. Could very easily get clipped by one of those sentries.
For now, Baboon has not bought any sentries, but I'm sure there's one coming in the near future, perhaps over here, over here. I mean, there's a lot of spots I can just easily find, as you mentioned, and... Looking over at top lane, speaking of sentry wards, dear god, that's a lot of sentry wards, but... Radiant perhaps are looking for Smiley. The Avatary was activated, and we are seeing Smiley now caught in the circle of the Sprout, but instead it's circle from Kinetic, though, keeping the Treants away from the Terror Blade. Now Radiant turned to Fudge on Disruptor, who is hitting Marshall. Fudge is out of mana, pops some mangoes, has glimpse, and will glimpse him towards Smiley, who metas, but he's tanks the baptism and dies! The trade is for Marshall, so both cores go down, and now we see a rotation in by Baboon, who brings down Hasabre, and that is an absolutely wild engagement in the top lane.
Yeah, that probably would have been really good for Dire if Smiley didn't press meta as he died. Like, even if he just died, it probably would have been fine for Dire, or it probably would have been very good for Dire, but the fact that his meta is now on cooldown for 2 minutes as he comes back into the lane isn't the best.
That's really his big tool to trade in the lane, and, well, he doesn't really have it anymore. Instead, he's just being run at. Magic Missile, again, will just bother Smiley, and RAP Radiant's third sentry ward. They now only have 2 of them in this area. But Dire instead put a sentry of their own up. This is...
Why do they have so many?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they think there's a ward there?
This one's reasonable. It blocks the camp. Oh, I'm not sure what... I guess this one's to deward this camp, and then this one is like for this hill. I feel like there's too much going on here.
For the top lane, it's a TP in by Marshall. Help out the Camel Farmer gank. X-Mark Torrent is on Smiley, but in comes Ned looking for vengeance. Smiley has fallen, but Ned is fighting in the 1v3. TP is in from Baboon as Fudge walks over. Connect in on all 3 heroes, perhaps. Marshall is dead. In comes Boat. Stunning 2. Down goes Ned. They turn to Fudge. He too will perish. It's a 3-for-1 trade, and they want Baboon, who still is a very squishy hero. He's up to 1 armor, but he's still just taking a ton of damage. Torrent is on the mark, and down goes Baboon. One more hit will do it if they can find him. Wavatary will scout him out, but actually Baboon is still alive. So good jukes by Baboon, keeping himself alive, but it's still 3-for-1 in favor of Nebula, which is one big team fight win right there.
Camel Farmer is like really good. That was a crazy good rotation. He manages to connect to his other 2 heroes that are going on the Terrorblade, gets the X kill on him before the TB hits 6, while he's strong on Kunkka. This rotation is really good as well. When you have NP offlane, it's really easy to kill the tower, so they see that the they say the TP's top, and Kunkka's just going to run at him. He doesn't have TP here, so they're going to have to bring a bunch of heroes in Dire.
That is at least one hero brought being jacked with the arena. It's on to Kunkka and the Nature's Prophets. Camel Farmer is low, and our protagonist being healed by Bulljax. Torrent will miss. Glimpse is in on Kunkka. X-Mark brings him back! You mentioned it, and what a fantastic play from Camel Farmer.
That's part of why they picked the Kunkka. I think they picked it right after this of the Disruptor. It's like a very good counter to Glimpse overall.
Speaking of Disruptor, he dies to 3 Radiant heroes, and perhaps he'll have one more kill on Jax. He's slowed by that Curse of Avernus, but the long-range Wrath of Nature finishes off Mars. And now, It's just 2 more kills for Nebula. They're up 7 kills to 5. We're seeing a 1v1 mid lane. Camel Farmer taking on Ned. Ned has 2 steps and an arcane rune. I think he can get that kill, actually. But we are seeing an X mark on the Kunkka. Tidebringer is in. Step in. Dissimulate. Step in again. But Camel Farmer remains alive. Remnant hits, finishing the kill. So Ned gets a solo kill on Camel Farmer as Fume kills Baboon. And now it's Ned dissimulating away from Bulljax. Aspirin has arrived. The missile will bring down Ned as he was out of spells on Void Spirit. This is a wild load again going on right now.
Yeah, that's pretty big actually getting that kill on. Like, look at the Kunkka's net worth right now. If he hadn't died there, he would have like easily been 5k at 10, I think.
That's quite impressive. I mean, it is no 7k at minute 11, but it is quite good. Over to bottom lane, Marsh will try to TP away from the bottom lane, but instead he will find his spot in the grave. He's being gone on by Jax, Baboon, and Fudge. And thanks to the good TP canceled by Jax's spear, there will be no escape. The tips even come out, but what can you do? Mid lane, step in by Ned, finding Acid Rain. Meadows popped by Smiley, and that is one very dead Vengeful Spirit. And perhaps with meta active, Smiley and Ned might go for this middle tier 1 tower.
It's pretty good. They're able to do this on the catapult wave, so they're pretty strong on Dire. I think they should connect more of their heroes here. Okay, they do have the supports coming as well. Yeah, this is a pretty good play by Dire. They're gonna almost certainly get the mid tier 1 now.
Well, Ned is the target of the damage, but he is still half HP and has bottle charges. Acid. TP's in. That's an unfortunate concussive shot. Looking for Venge. Instead went to the creeps on the high grounds.
They played that one kind of poorly, I think, on Dire. They definitely, if they came closer on the 2 supports, and probably wouldn't have been able to jump on the heroes with their catapult still hitting the tower.
Both teams want to go, but this is definitely quite the standoff we have on our hands right now. And Dire want nothing more to do with the standoff. They will back off.
They got bottom tier 1. Mars is getting really close to a blink. Then one of these heroes are going to probably die to a Scarith Mage ulti. He isn't going the Max Silence build, which, you know, I think it would definitely be better it would be a lot better this game. Concussive Shot just doesn't scale the same way that it used to. I mean, the spell is like really strong at level 1. It's 120 damage level 1. Slows for 4 seconds, but doesn't really, like, the spell doesn't really get that much better when you level it up anymore. It used to double in damage from level 1 to level 2, but game's changed since then.
Middle lane.
And he's dead.
Yeah, our man with max concussive shot is going to fall to 4 different Nebula heroes.
That was a cool play by Acid Rain. Swaps the Weaver or the Kunkka to get in range to stun.
We might actually see a relatively early Roshan this game. Radiant have some very good Rosh-taking arrows, so perhaps we will not see logical mentioning minute 30 Roshan. We might instead see a minute 15 Roshan this game.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see a minute 15 Roshan, but yeah, it is true that all the Dire have 4 heroes that are very good against Roshan.
I wasn't even mentioning, I was mentioning Radiant in this case, but I guess Dire as well have pretty good
No,
heroes.
sorry, I meant Radiant. No, you're completely right. Dire's heroes are quite bad against Roshan. Actually, they got like Terrorblade does damage eventually, and you can Skywrath ulti it because Roshan only has 50% magic resistance. 55% magic resistance.
It's only level 1 Ancient Seal, so bottom lane, Smiley's taking a lot of damage. He has Sunder. But, you know, he doesn't have Sunder. He is not skilled Sunder. He's level 7, has no Sunder, and as a result, he will die to Bulljax's Mist Coil. Now we see Camel Farmer hunting, has boats, but will get glimpsed away. X-Mark was on cooldown, stepped in by Ned. Jax initiates with the arena and the spear, breaking down Acid Rain. Panic Storm silences both Kunkka and Abaddon. Abaddon will die. Kunkka will turn with boats. He will attempt to bring down anybody he can. He has Tidebringer up. He's in biz, but Dire have spotted him as a Sentry Ward. Kunkka will actually end up resulting in the Disruptor dying, but... Wait, and the Mars! That's 2 kills! But it's still good for Dire.
Nature's Prophet ulti.
Good old Wrath of Nature.
Nothing good about that spell.
Good counterpoint. Bad old Wrath of Nature?
Yeah, that's better. Much better.
Regardless of the Wrath of Nature from Marshall, it is still a gold change in favor of the side of Funny Zone. And say Smiley doesn't die there, that's an even better team fight than it ended up being. Ned goes in on Acid Rain mid lane, step on in, now step on out. Disruptor remains remains alive there. Speaking of Disruptor, he's arrived mid lane to perhaps turn on Fume and Acid Rain. Acid steps in, missiling the Void Spirit. The Void Spirit is still about 1/4 HP. Ned can assimilate and will dodge the X-Mark Torrent. Meaning the fight, again, perhaps will actually move to the dire side jungle, where Baboon tried to hunt Acid Rain, but Boldax was nearby with that Aphotic Shield. Now Baboon, well, he'll be incredibly dead. He will be the lone casualty of the team fights.
That was a feedback, Baboon. He did not need to die like that. Think that his best way to play in this game is definitely just to like M-click his Mars. He just go run, follow his Mars. Mars is gonna be the one that sets up all the kills for him. Like the way that I generally refer to Skywrath Mage, Snapfire, Techies, these type of heroes, you cast your buns on the stun guy, and Mars is the guy that stuns.
Hey, Logical, I want you to turn your attention to two things: the Roshan pit and the game clock.
Oh, 15 minutes.
It is a 15-minute Roshan.
They are beasting. All it took was Pink running it down the mid lane.
Speaking of middle lane, Ned gets caught by the X-Mark, but he will step away from the torrent. That's a very good torrent reaction. I think Camel Farmer knew to simulate was on cooldown, but Ned still got away there with the Astral Step.
This playing pretty well this game. I'll say I don't think it's like the easiest. I don't really like his Void Spirit build that much, but he's doing quite well. Sitting top net worth on his team right now and has made some pretty good moves. Got the solo kill on the top net worth Kunkka earlier on.
Glimpse on Acid Rain bringing him towards Ned and Baboon. Mystic Flare dropped. Acid Rain has been dropped. But now in comes Marshall looking for vengeance. He has found Fudge. It's a 1-for-1 now. They now turn to Ned, who has no steps remaining. He'll Remnants on Kunkka. It's now shielded a bit late there by Bulljax. The Camel Farmer is running forward. Sprout. It's Baboon. Jax is nearby. But it'll be an X-Mark and boat headed towards the Skywrath Mage. Now 2-for-1. And then Orchid comes out on Ned, but there is no follow-up crowd control, so they will have to let Ned walk away with a 2-for-1 trade in favor of the side of Nebula, though maybe it's a third kill actually on Jax. They had an X-Mark, but Jax had an Invis rune. Bulljax used a sentry, but it's not quite in range, so there will be no kill on Mars. Instead, it's Ned stepping in for Bulljax, who has the borrowed time, so a lot of heroes not dying right now, and yeah, that's what's going to happen. Heroes are just not going to die.
Yeah. Both these lineups are a little bit low damage. Like, Dire really needs Skywrath, I think, to finish heroes off, and they do have to worry about Abaddon heals. And then the Radiant team it's kind of just hard to get their damage off. Oh, nice Sunder.
Orchid not quite there in time silences before the Sunder, but Dire now turns. Featherstone is on the Kunkka. See Mystic Flare on Abaddon. It's a dead Camel Farmer. Abaddon remains alive, but Dire turned their attention towards Furion. Is there a stun? There is a glimpse, which means there will be no way out for Marshall other than fighting with his teammates. He'll Wrath Nature looking for damage. Bulljax dead, Marshall dead, Radiant +3. Fume has been taunted, and Acid Rain is disconnected from the game. Very bad time to disconnect. He is stunned by Spear. He is not in range to swap, is he?
No, level 1 swap is pitiful cast range.
He is definitely not a pitiful duration, though he's not that far away, actually. He's not that far away.
He has to walk for probably like 1.5 seconds to be able to get the swap off.
What
The
damage do
Weaver
Dire have left, actually? Well, they have meta. They're good. Are they good? He has 2 lives. He's fine.
Well, I mean, yeah, he won't die, but like they can definitely turn this on Radiant. Like Fume is extremely strong right now. He's got Atos, Maelstrom. I mean, the Weaver just does a ton of damage at this point, and so I think if he's able to not die to the meta right clicks and this upcoming Resonant Pulse in 2 seconds, then there might be a lot of dead heroes on Dire coming up. Like Venge still has all of her spells. It's a stun on the Mars and then some Wave of Terror minus armor alongside the Gemini attack hits.
Well, we are back into the game, and Fume remains alive, looking for Smiley, but the Aegis has been lost. Ned is low, Smiley's low, everybody's low. But can Fume find any kills? Atos will hit Void Spirit, but they just cannot finish a kill. Swarm will bring down
Oh,
Fudge,
no.
but now it's the Spear under tower on Fume. Good swap by Aspirin, keeping his Weaver alive. It will cost him his life, but a valiant sacrifice. Problem is Fume? Nah, it's fine.
That's a little bit depressing. They were all so low on Weaver, and then you had to get your Weaver, or you had to get to your revenge to kill yourself just so you can make it out alive. I'm not a very big fan of Fume's item build, I'll say. Just this Treads Gleipnir, I think that this is, I don't really think it helps him that much. Like, he'll be able to kill the sky, I guess, but like, it'll be a little bit dicey. I think he definitely needs a BKB this game against Disruptor ulti and Sky spells. And then I think, like, if he just goes pretty much like the old standard Maelstrom BKB Scotty, I think that he'll be really strong. He'll have really strong timing on the Scotty. Able to, like, it will still be able to kill the supports extremely easily, just with the Scotty auto attacks.
Right now we see Radiant playing a bit better map-wise than Dire. Look at this Radiant side vision. Look at this vision from Radiant. This is good. They have some good coverage of the Dire side jungle ward-wise right now. And they also have a third ward elsewhere. Top lane, we're seeing an arena by Jax that ended up missing Tell's pointing out wards. It ended up killing Fume. That's a massive kill. And Jax actually gets away with murder, keeping away because there was no stuns. Instead, it's Camel Farmer and Acidorain headed towards the Disruptor, who is, well, the easiest kill on the map for the Radiants right now, and they will claim it. But it's still not a good exchange. That is your carry Weaver for a 5 Disruptor.
Yeah. If he had the BKB, he probably would have lived there. Skyrim Mage only has level 1 ult, so it's not a crazy amount of damage. It's a lot of damage though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh. Weaver definitely very capable of carrying this game. I think Weaver has very good core matchups overall.
Jax in danger top lane. He might be in danger top lane. They know he's there. I'll tell him we're slow. He's good to go. They even see him on the ward, but they know he's
Middle tower is under
wins.
attack.
He's it's I think Radiant is stronger than Dire if they take the fight correctly. But I think that it's a little bit hard to take the fight correctly right now because your Weaver, the way that they play the fight, have to be really careful. Fume is about to feed, I think.
He goes in, but yeah, you're right. He will feed here. That was a very ambitious play on Ned, and
It's tip worthy.
yep, tip-worthy indeed. And he's dead for 45 more seconds. That is a
Radiant's bottom
bit of an overplay there.
attack.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why he made that play. It's because he's got the Gleipnir, and then if you look at the way that the map was looking, none of the Dire heroes, or like, there's not really a good area for you to farm. Like, these camps are all dead, and
Top lane, a big fight commencing. Marshall has been caught, but he swapped away by Acidorain, but Jax finds the Furion. What a fantastic backstab by Jax. They now move to Kunkka, who has BKB, and he'll be forced to BKB and TP. But for Dire,
Radiant's bottom
that is exactly what you want. You parlay one big core kill into another big core kill, and you get the BKB out of the third core. And they might even get Acidorain. Ned has one step up. Glimpse is online for Fudge, but it seems like Acidorain is juking them out. Hume has respawned into the game, and now we see Dire going on both Abaddon and perhaps the Weaver. Borrow time has been popped by Bulljax. Will perhaps get saved by Torrent, or perhaps not. It only hit the illusion, meaning Bulljax goes down on the Abaddon. Now 3 kills and rapid succession for the side of the Dire. And not only will they get these 3 kills, they're still hunting for more. Step in by Ned Remnants. They'll miss. They wanted the Kunkka, whose BKB is still on cooldown, but instead they'll have to turn to the middle T1 tower. Now Radiance, they X-mark that boon. You see Flare on the floor, Spear is dropped. What a good swap from Acidorain! Now it's Static Storm. Dire are trying to turn. They bring down the Venge, they bring down the Weaver, they bring down the Furion as well. The Remnant from Ned. A triple kill for Void Spirit. What a fantastic swap from Acidorain. What an even better team fight from the side of Funny Zone.
And Ned's playing really well in the voice where I think his spellcasting so far has been really good. Both just like in the laning phase, I think casting spells pretty good, and in these team fights as well. Just popping off, boys beast.
At the point where we might just get concerned that Nebula might just lose 0-2.
Yeah, that's definitely concerning. I will say though, I said it like 5 times in the past 5 minutes. You definitely griefed with his item build. It's really depressing not to be the Weaver. Like your game was so good, but now you're 22 minutes. You're really far away from your BKB. I think ideally you'd like to have like pre 25-minute Maelstrom BKB Scotty, but now he's gonna be praying. He's gonna be thankful if he can get 25-minute Gleipnir BKB. This is psychotic. Baboon's gonna die. Though. He heard Fume needed some money.
It's not the first time this game that Baboon has gone for that exact kind of play, and once again he's getting hit by his own team. I wish I could hear the comms on that one, but we are seeing Nebula look for more kills. Gleipnir Weaver is online, finding Disruptor.
He's beasted.
But he's just dead.
Alright, yeah, never mind. No, fuck a BKB. Just catch these heroes to Gleipnir. He was owning. I shouldn't have heard that at them.
Not quite sure how that one works out, but we are seeing a top lane. Jax dodging out the gank from Marshall and Camel Farmer, spearing and blinking away from Furion and Kunkka, but that will mean Radiant have an open lane towards this top tier 2 tower. All 5 of their heroes are either right there or not too far from it, and Dog have a grand total of 0 heroes in the area, so it will be a free tier 2 tower top lane.
Okay, I mean, Radiant's stabilizing a little bit now. I think it's really important for them that they try to avoid...
big soul kill for Ned!
Yes.
Big soul kill for Ned. Beast, and he gets a courier too! 2 couriers?
He's sticking around a long
2
time.
couriers!
But he doesn't really die. Like, yeah, okay, he's Gleipnir, but now what?
Okay, now is where this gets fun. He'll
Does he
step
use
away
himself?
and
Yeah.
Yules. He has one more step remaining. He'll step all the way to the high ground on the other side of the river, and as a result, Ned gets away. Not only murdering Marshall at his own tri-camp, he gets 2 couriers. What a player.
Yeah, now they're pretty. It's pretty difficult for Radiant to actually kill this Void Spirit because they don't have any they don't have great stuns right now. They're gonna need this Nature's Prophet 20 talent honestly to kill the Void Spirit. That's like their next window to kill him. I think obviously messes up massively.
Got middle lane on Fume, swapped away by Acid Rain, so Avenge certainly will lose his life. Glimpse is on Fume, but I'm not sure if she's silenced by the Void Spirit. Purged by Bulljax. Radiant go in on Ned. Status from silence both Abaddon and Weaver. Radiant want the Void Spirit. He has step in 8, assimilate in right now. But Radiant see him with the Swarm. Ned is half HP. He's losing armor. Radiant pursue. X mark on point.
Ooh.
Ned this time will get caught. Orchid in. Void Spirit out. That is a godlike streak going to Camel Farmer. Radiant want one more kill. They see Skywrath Mage, who has a grand total of 6 armor, and now has a grand total of 0 HP. Radiant have claimed at least 2 kills, and perhaps they might get that second kill of the game on Roshan. It is mid 25. It is Aegis and Shard, and that has Radiant's name all over it.
Hey, well, Radiant definitely needed that fight. Weaver is pretty much going to have BKB after this Roshan, a couple more creeps, so this is going to be their go time pretty much. Dire is going to respawn, and then they have to probably take one more good fight. Then they're ready to reclaim their lead in this game. Eats the shard on Weaver. Weaver shard is like really crazy. It does so much stuff for no reason. Reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. It causes your swarm to hit and reveal invisible heroes, and then it also causes your Geminate attack to hit the swarm heroes. Why does it do 3 different things? It's crazy.
Back before they nerfed it, it used to be a 4-second CD reduction. And back when it gave a 4-second CD reduction, literally all 3 things were probably worth 1,400 gold. And you got all 3 of them. It's like you're getting 2.5 shards of value. It's just so good.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much true, I'd say.
I think if it was any one of those individual components, people would still probably buy it sometimes. It's
I don't think so.
I mean, the AoE attack is very good on like a Carry Weaver, and obviously the Invis reveal is pretty cool as well. What's also pretty cool is Radiant ganking the Terrorblade. He has no BKB and his mana's on cooldown, so Orchid will be an issue. Jax looks to salvage the fight. Spear is on point, but he has the borrowed time activated. Arena will be on 2, but Radiant step into the arena, bringing down the Terrorblade. And they want more kills. They look for Fudge. Fudge has a Glimmer Cape. Camel Palmer will Torrent. And it will be a bit off the mark, but The T1 tower cannot run away with the Glimmer Cape, so it will go down. Radiant claim a big core kill on Terrorblade, and they get the tower. But they're still looking to fight. They want Camel Farmer, but with the BKB in hand, he will absolutely be completely fine, let alone having the Abaddon save, so... Now
Moon
Nebula
keeps
will hunt.
Atosing the Kunkka, but that's like the worst here.
Ned
Oh,
steps
shit.
in, but again, another spot from Acid Rain, saving Fume again. Fudge is not quite dead yet, but Radiant now turns to the Skywrath Mage. Jax blinks in, rebuking for the kill. Radiant lose both supports, but Dire have lost their Skywrath Mage. Fume, his BKB is over. Ned steps in for Camel Farmer, but both him and Marshall are still fine. Sprout does some fantastic scouting. Ned will keep you away, but Fudge will not be so lucky. In blinks Jax, BKB, Spear, the damage, bringing down Marshall. Ex-teammate on ex-teammate action, but it will cost him his life, and the tip gets returned. Overall, Nebula win the fight, but guess who's back? It's Smiley. Reflection hits on Weaver and Kunkka. The Remnant again from Ned. What a fantastic Remnant. Kunkka dead, and they want Fume. Fume is incredibly low, but not quite low enough. He will TP away. But Nebula have just lost a lot of momentum.
Yeah, definitely. They did preserve the Aegis, though, so I think they can go back and try to fight again. Terrorblade is going to have the Satanic for the next fight, which will be a big help. I think he was only barely bursted all the way at the start of that fight. With the Satanic, he'll be hard to kill. Still, though, I think that Radiant kind of have to do something. I don't think the Terrorblade's impossible to burst, even with the extra HP from the Satanic. And once they lose this Aegis, I think the fights are going to get a lot more difficult.
You saw perhaps the lack of BKB on Terrorblade being a bit of a punishing thing earlier, but with Satanic, ooh.
You should definitely have a BKB. But, you know? Actually, maybe that's not true. Maybe that's not true. Maybe this is correct, actually. He definitely should not get caught like that, though. That's pretty game-losing when he died here.
What can you do, I guess? We are seeing, let's see, speaking of what can you do, it is Dire. They decide what they can do. It's a 4-man smoke, rendezvousing in the area of Smiley. Radiant have a ward where Dire are smoked, so of course, they actually might be a false sense of security. They're going to run to the Marshall. That's BKB. That's a very good BKB reaction. Dodging the spear, getting him away. I guess it wasn't that good, but it was very important. Being that Furion does not die there.
Baboon's been off this game, I'll say. I think he scared the Nature's Prophet by Atosing first. I think he should just let his Mars take the time that he needs to set up, because Nature's Prophet's not going anywhere.
Nebula smoke, they swap on Fudge. That will be one kill, but it will be in exchange for Vengeful Spirit, so both teams have lost one support. Fume, with Aegis in hand for half a minute, runs in. Gleipnir's on 2, and he wants some big kills. He's silenced, he's stepped down, but he's BKB looking for Jax. Jax will BKB as well, but Fume is still hitting. He's a few more hits and will find them. So now Samar's dead. Torrent, both will be on Smiley. He has Manta, he has Satanic. He can't use either. But he pops Satanic. He's hitting. Manta, still not used. He's silenced again, but now Smiley will sunder. Huge sunder on Boljax. He's lifted in the air by Torrent, and he cannot survive any longer. Down goes Smiley, but the exchange is massive in both directions. 2 for 2 in a matter of 1 second. Aegis has expired on Fume. Remnant will get missed by Ned for I believe the first time this entire game, practically, and Radiant will look for him again. X-Mark animation was a bit too slow to catch the Void Spear for now, but Gleipnir will certainly be on point into the X-Mark, into the Assimilate dodge, but no! The X-Mark still was long enough. Ned again steps away, but Fume pursues. Gleipnir is up in 6, and he'll again step away! Ned somehow, someway escapes from death.
Oh my god, that range.
Fudge, though, will not be so lucky, it appears.
Sure.
Yeah, the shard gives Fume the vision, but can
Oh,
Fume...
no.
Okay, Fume actually cannot conquer Kinetic Field, and Fudge gets away.
BKB is chilling in his backpack, slowing down half speed, or cooling down half speed. You might want to fix that one. There you go.
He has fixed it.
Dire's middle tower has
Uh,
fallen.
Smiley is just kind of poor this game. Like, he has top net worth, but 30, 31, 32 minutes only having Satanic Manta Scotty. You saw in that fight, he did not really do a whole lot of damage. Like, he was hitting the Kunkka, and I mean, sure, Kunkka's like the tankiest hero, but still, I think with the amount of time that they had the advantage for, he should definitely not just tickle the Kunkka. Even with the Abaddon putting heals behind him, he does have a Scotty, and he does have a decent amount of net worth. It's probably just missing like one item though, compared to where he should be. Yumi even usurps the top position net worth. Finish the Daedalus. This guy's gonna fucking hit hard though.
He is ready to do the Shard left ear and Daedalus. A lot of split damage for a Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, I think the shard on Carry River really comes online when you hit the 25 talent. Then you just get the double Geminate on every hero that's swarmed.
And that is that's a lot of scary damage. I mean, that's a lot of damage. My God.
With the 20 talent as well, with the plus 90 Geminate attack damage, it hurts.
We are seeing Jax. He was pushing in the top wave. He's now being hunted, but he's duking out pretty well. But never mind, he's just going to die here. We see a Hex from Marshall canceling the TP of Jax. Jax got a bit greedy. I guess it wouldn't have mattered because he could have BKB, but then the swap would have been there. So I guess there was no way out on that one.
Yeah, he would have had to like blink in the trees before they saw him, but it was not probably reasonable for him to live there.
At least the one good thing is if Radiant Force high ground right here, right now, he can buy back and have BKB.
He's not TP though.
That's okay. The high ground's right here. Let's just a walk.
Oh, if a Radiant goes high ground, yeah, sorry, I was looking at Dire. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, there's no way Dire high ground right now. I think.
I could see them forcing some Radiant heroes back. I think that would actually be a pretty good play.
Instead, it will be the inverse. Radiant forcing Dire heroes back. Baboon. Correction, they force back a hero from Dire. But it will be at the cost of nearly that entire T3 tower. In steps Ned, silencing on 2. Both of them are half HP Mystic Flare drop, but Acid Rain has swapped the Weaver to safety. Now, it is a one-man Magic Missile on Fudge. He's lifted in the air by Torrent and Marshall BKB, looking to get Ned, but Ned is still fine. Has the Illusion Rune activating, purging off that Orchid Silence. Remnants will get blocked by the BKB of Kimmel Farmer, so Radiant are down key BKBs and Dire know it. They pursue, step in by Ned, looking for Acid Rain. He's leashed by the Sprout, and now X-Mark back into the Sprout. But in comes Jax, the two-man arena of Marshall and Bulljax. Borrow time pop, Marshall low as Smiley brings out Acid Rain. Dire want more kills. Bulljax, he shields, he heals, but it's nowhere near enough. Venge buys back, Furion buys back. It's the big game fight right here. Kunkka is low, he's shielded again. Leash on Terrorblade, pour in the air. Void Spirit low, Void Spirit dead. Huge kill for Marshall. They move the Jax. Jax is dead. They move the Smiley. Smiley is stunned. He has Manta. He has Thunder. Can he get it off? He's silenced again. He's hexed. He's dead. Huge kills for Nebula. They had the Skyrath Mage and Disruptor. Skyrath dead. Glimmer on Fudge. But the Torrent, correction, the Tidebringer cleaves down Fudge. And that will be the exact team fight Nebula needed to break this game wide open.
It's really good team fighting by Radiant right now. It's really difficult. I mean, we're talking about how the team didn't have a BKB earlier, but now it is really showing why it's important from the Kunkka Torrent Storm.
Just an entire lack of BKBs here. I mean, there's no BKB on Void Spirit or Terrorblade. Ned, he's rooted. He has a Yules, but they might just get him again. Torrent off the mark, but Hex. That will do it, and that is a dieback on Ned.
I think this game, yeah, I think they're just gonna go end.
Smiley can buy back. He has bought back. He has Fudge in 5.
No meta.
Yeah, no meta Terrorblade and a 2v5 defense seems nigh impossible, but they'll try it anyways. But problem is, Terrorblade's stunned again. They are focusing TV down Gleipnir on Mark. They're trying to turn up the Static Storm, but, well, Smiley, he will sunder, but for very little heal. That is a full 5-man wipe, and that will be a 1-1 draw between Nebula and Funny Zone.
This game is pretty back and forth. I think Dire definitely had the opportunity to win, but it's probably good that Radiant won. Otherwise, I'd make a lot of fun of him for buying Tread's Gleipnir with the lead that he had early on.
I think both teams had a pretty good showing tonight.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I wasn't like particularly blown away by either team, but both teams had some things that went well for them, and there's certainly promise these teams can be, you know, some of the better teams in Lads. I don't think either's going to be the best team in Lads, but both of them could be, like top quarter type teams in lads.
Mm-hmm. I like this draft by Radiant still. Good. Did I say that at the start? I forgot. Oh,
No,
no.
we like the Dire draft.
I mean, I'll take your word for it, but
we
I don't remember
both
saying that.
I think we both said Dire draft.
Oh yeah, I remember that at the beginning.
What can you do?
I can't remember why I said that, but I mean, yeah, I'll probably stand behind it.
Previous logical stab you in the back right now.
It was a good TV game. He definitely choked a little bit on Siley, I'll say. Like when he had the Scotty timing and then he won that fight, I think after he got this Manta, he should have been a lot more farmed. He got the Manta at like minute 24, and then only finishes the Satanic in minute 30. Then doesn't get another item for the rest of the game.
Certainly, I mean, sometimes you have a rough game, and apparently that was what happened today for Smiley once again. I mean, Nebula did a good job of ganking him over and over again, and perhaps he should have dodged the ganks, but he did not dodge the ganks, and as a result, Nebula kept his farm down. All right, you got any more? Analysis for our game at hand? Any more for the series at hand?
Nope.
Cool. Thank you for joining me. Logical for actually being here. Do you have any final words, call outs, shouts, say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/Badger Pablo?
Better, sometimes I've been saying that these games I've been impressed because I thought they were going to be a lot worse. This game, I think it was exactly what I expected, actually. It was like none of the teams are like extremely underwhelming, but they both threw the game multiple times. So I'd say this is what I expect from a League of Legends series, I'll say.
That sounds like a call out to me, but what can you do? We are
Why is that a call out to you?
not to me, but sounds like it's to me. You know what I mean? We're calling out them in my ears.
I see.
Maybe my ears
I
are wrong.
mean,
But
it wasn't intended to be like that, but maybe.
I'll take your word on that.
Ned owned, actually. I think if he died like one last time, then probably could have won that game. Maybe not even died one last time. Maybe if he just like got a couple extra kills, farmed a little bit better, he definitely could have carried that game. That was a really good White Spirit game. Probably should have had a BKB though.
Yeah.
Okay, that was extra analysis. Actually, you gave me 2 different opportunities to get extra analysis, and then at the 3rd opportunity, I did it.
It's better late than never, but we are going to wrap it up for tonight. We are going to call it. Thank you to the viewers for tuning in for this 1-1 draw between Nebula and Funny Zone. My name is Badger. If you want me and the Logical to cast your pro tournaments, how you want to hire us, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2, or on Discord, badge number 5713. We'll be back at some point. I literally have no idea this time. I've said the last 3 times. But
call out to Neff.
Oh, you want to call him out? Go for it.
Yeah, call out to Neff. That guy, he just dodged her cast. That's frogged up. I was looking forward to it.
This was I was actually hyping up for a mystery guest, and while the mystery guest remained a mystery, he never showed up.
Yeah. Neff sucks. I hate that guy's casting.
What can you do? We are going to back to my outro. We'll be back at some point. We'll be back at some point for some more lads action. And for now, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great night.